All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. Shawn and Michelle Poe here, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Super excited that you could join us for the next half an hour or so. We are absolutely thrilled and honored to be able to present tonight life-changing information. Honestly, it has been life-changing for that. So I'm going to turn it over to my wife, Michelle. She's going to kind of give you some of the updates and information and why we're so excited about the technology that you're about ready to hear about. And then I'll jump back on and kind of close it out with some of the business aspects of it. But really, as you're listening to the information, start to think about who in your life could benefit from the information that we're talking about. And, you know, whether that's just being a user of the products, or somebody that might need something a little bit different in their life. Have an open mind and really think about the people that you could touch that if they knew this information, it would be of value for them. So Michelle, I'll turn it over to you and start sharing the screen.
Perfect. Well, again, good evening. Like Shawn said, it is September 11th, 2017, and I can't believe it's been 16 years since we all know what's happened on that day, and we just want to send our love and our hearts out to everyone. And going through that, it brings you back and keeps you grounded that we are all one in this world. And the people that have been going through the hurricanes down in Texas and in Florida and different things going on in the world, our hearts and our prayers are with you. And one thing that, I just feel so blessed with is that our company, LifeVantage, which if you're calling in tonight or zooming in as a guest, we want to welcome you. The person that invited you here tonight thought so highly of you to hear this information. And what happens here with our company here at LifeVantage is we quickly turn into family. And I thank God every single day that a girl named Nikki Elsinger reached out to us, just like some of you, and said, hey, you need to look at something. I thought about you because, she said to us, you're passionate about people, you're passionate about health, you're entrepreneurial, you've got to check this out. It's going to blow your mind. And so it took me some time to look at it, but when I finally did, I couldn't believe what I saw. And so we're thinking of you all, and we're just so happy that you're here tonight. And the person that invited you, just be sure to get back to them, any which way that it goes. If you're interested in the products, if you're interested in the business, if you're interested in just getting some more information, just thank them for thinking of you, because they truly thought so much of you. So tonight we're going to be talking about a few different things that have literally changed our life. Shawn just said, life-changing information. So when my girlfriend came to me, you guys, Shawn and I were both working full-time. I was a national wholesale mortgage rep for over a decade. Shawn was working with Citigroup, doing student loan recovery, corporate treasury, and we had an online business. And we were literally the definition of no time. You think about the people out there that have no time. We had that, plus we had two little girls. We had a lady living with us from Spain. Our girls go to a Spanish immersion school, and so she was an intern and she was living with us. So when you bring that in, unbelievable experience, phenomenal, but it's more time spent getting to know them, not speaking the same language. And so, like I said, we were the definition of no time. But when this came to us, and when I finally took a look at it, my mouth completely dropped. I couldn't believe what we saw. I couldn't believe that I watched an ABC primetime investigative report. So if you have not seen that, get back to the person that invited you and say, what is this ABC primetime investigative report this girl named Michelle was talking about from South Dakota? Because that ABC primetime investigative report, when I watched that, it ended positive. And I don't know if you've heard of ABC primetime investigative report or not, but ABC goes out and they try to disprove products, services, people, companies, you name it, and they go out and they really shut them down. They disprove them, they shut them down, and I had never heard of or ever seen one end positive. And so when I saw that end positive, I couldn't believe it. My mouth dropped. And then my girlfriend said, Michelle, then there's this follow-up. And again, I could not believe that it had been in the Wall Street Journal, Sanjay Gupta, CNN chief correspondent. I mean, it was all over the place. That gave some extra third-party validation as to what I was watching was truly a breakthrough. And so what we're going to be talking about, as you saw on that first slide, is biohacking the body, the mind, the body, you name it. And biohacking is becoming a word, you guys, which is, it's truly, if you go and you look at anybody that's out there that is doing anything with the body and going out and is, you know, at the beginning of how to get your body back in balance, how gene expression, how we can actually work with that. I'm going to talk about that tonight. It's just an unbelievable thing that we've got here. So you can, I'm going to go ahead there. So there's what I had seen was that this gentleman had been in that ABC Primetime Investigative Report, and he won this medal called the Elliott Crescent Medal, which is a medal like Alexander Graham Bell, Orville Wright, and Henry Ford. And so when I saw that, my mouth dropped, like I've said, and I couldn't believe that, you know, this isn't just some good scientific award. Like, this is literally an award like Alexander Graham Bell, Orville Wright, and Henry Ford, the airplane, the car. And that's what we've got our hands on here, you guys, is truly a breakthrough. And I'll show you something in the upcoming slides that literally says that this could be the biggest breakthrough in the history of medicine. So in that ABC Primetime Investigative Report, it talked a lot about oxidative stress. So what in the world is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress, if you go out and if you look it up, you're going to see everything that's on the right-hand side. It should show that way on your screen as being the root cause of disease. Now, because we are a natural product, we can't say that it cures, treats, prevents, or mitigates disease, but what Protandim, our flagship product, does is lower oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days in everyone. Literally, no nutraceutical company or pharmaceutical company can make that claim. So if you are taking notes tonight, make sure that you get a pen and paper, because this is important information. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I had never heard of oxidative stress before. Oh my gosh, I had never heard of NRF2 activation, maybe biohacking. So have a pen and paper handy. So oxidative stress, you see the apple? You've got the green apple, it's beautiful, it sits out, it starts getting brown, and then you get to the last one. Well, same thing happens if you cut open an apple on the counter. What happens when it sits out, right? It turns brown. Well, that is what's happening on the inside of our body. It is rusting from the inside out. So do we like that? Is that a great thing? Unfortunately not. Look at the normal cell that's there at the bottom. Normal cells that are getting attacked by free radicals and then getting oxidative stress. So how do we get that? We have all these little things that are attacking us, right? Just like on that picture, our cells. We have these free radicals that attack. You get them from pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and GMOs. You go to the gas pump and you breathe in all those fumes, right? You get on the airplane, and you know what happens when you get on the airplane? You get that big whiff of the gas and the fumes and all that. You cannot escape it. You go out and you work out. Working out is awesome. Yes, that's wonderful. But when you're working out, if you do it too much, you're going to get oxidative stress. Oxidative stress then leads to disease. And Protandim, like I said, is the only natural product on the planet proven to lower that by an average of 40% in 30 days and up to 70%. That is a scientific breakthrough. On this chart here, you see what does it affect? And I remember when I first heard about this, I was like, how does it literally impact exercise recovery for people? How does it impact, you know, headaches? And how does it affect, you know, you go through this, skin, the kidneys, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, asthma, allergies, cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, autism, migraines, cancer, again, chronic inflammation, multiple sclerosis, cancer, again, atherosclerosis, diabetes, macular degenerations, the eyes. We have an eye doctor on our team, and she said absolutely oxidative stress is huge for macular degeneration, cataracts, and glaucoma. So understand how big that part is. So some people say, well, if this is such a big deal, why haven't I heard about it? Well, it's because in our world, we have the only product on the planet that does what it does to the potency that it does, and it's just not quite out there yet. So I have a doctor that I talked to from Denver, and I said that exact question to him. He said, Michelle, when I have patients come into my office, I tell them, to do better in life and to get your body back into balance, you go out and you eat these fruits and veggies and berries and all that. Well, that is wonderful, and you need to continue doing that. Yes. You need your nutrition. Yes. But it only kills off one free radical at a time. You consume it, it kills off one free radical, and then you got to eat more. You eat, it kills one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. You take Protandim, one a day. It turns on your body's anti-aging enzymes that we slowly stop producing when we're in our 20s or so, flips them back on, turns on that NRF2, NRF2 activation pathway, and it kills off those free radicals on 1,000,000 to 1 every second, on the second, 1,000,000 to 1. So when we first heard about this, I said, imagine your house is on fire. And if you take a Dixie cup of water and you throw it on the house fire, what is that going to do for you? We're like, nothing. That wouldn't do anything to your house fire. So imagine that in your body. You've got the fire. You've got all these free radicals that leads to oxidative stress and inflammation and then to disease. Well, it's like a Dixie cup of water on a house fire if you take those direct antioxidants, the fruits and the veggies, killing them off. Then you have Protandim, okay? Take this every single day for the rest of your life. No kidding. He said it's like a fire hose in every single room in your house. So every single cell in your body, it's putting the fire out, you guys. NRF2 activation is the future. Nutrigenomics and gene expression, which we'll talk more about, is the future. On the bottom of that last slide that Shawn had down there, one of the key words in there also said glutathione. I'm not going to get too much into stuff tonight, but I have been at several conferences this year where pioneers in nutrition have been talking a lot about glutathione, and Protandim increases your body's glutathione by 300%. It's the mother of all antioxidants. It is huge, 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 so be sure to look that up. NRF2. So I said, you're going to learn about this. You may have never heard about this before. In fact, many doctors have never even heard of this, but they will, and they are. NRF2, as you see here, is a master regulator of detoxification and also antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cytoprotective mechanisms. So then it goes on to say, in this study that was done by Washington State in 2015, it said, we may be on the verge of a new literature of health effects of NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. That's huge. Did you get that? The most extraordinary therapeutic and extraordinary preventive breakthrough. So seriously, the person that invited you here just gave you insight on could be the biggest breakthrough in the history of medicine. 6.5 years ago, we were introduced to this, and I have not missed Protandim one day. That's all I'm going to say about that because we're out of time. So the ABC Primetime Investigative Report, you guys, after that aired, thousands and thousands of people contacted the company because they were like, oh my gosh, I know what oxidative stress is. Louisiana State University contacted them, University of Colorado, Denver, Harvard, Texas Tech, Ohio State, the American Heart Association. They wrote up on Protandim through Circulation, which is the premier cardiology journal of the world. They understood oxidative stress, and they said, we want to study Protandim on our dollar and study it on all these different things. Well, over the years, different pharmaceutical companies started understanding what NRF2 was. And they said, we're going to put millions upon millions upon millions of dollars going out and creating synthetics. And they are doing that. There is one drug, actually there's two now, out. One is for multiple sclerosis and another for ALS, and many others that are out there that are in the works. Now here, what was just put up is something that you need to write down as well. It's a site through the National Institute of Health and Aging, and it's called pubmed.gov. This is where the doctors go for their research. And when people come to me and say, Michelle, tell me about the research. What makes this so different? Well, let me tell you. So many things, but this is critical to understand. Protandim as the branded product is in PubMed several times, over 20 times on the branded product. Go in there and check out the research. You will be completely blown away. One thing when we were trying to disprove this and look into this, we're like, how is this research so incredibly special? It is in PubMed. It's not the company saying that, oh my goodness gracious, we have all this incredible research. We say so. PubMed does peer-reviewed published research, and it's the best of the best. So you can feel with incredible confidence that what you're putting into your body has been validated by the best of the best science. We actually did a call last night with a gentleman called Dr. Life, and he's very well known, has books all over the place. He's been on Anderson Cooper, he's been on Steve Harvey, he's been on Dr. Phil, he's been on many things, and he said, I am here because of the research. Nobody has the research that you guys have. So again, Protandim, as I was mentioning, is the only product on the planet proven to lower oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. Breakthrough. NRF2, NRF2. That's what this does. It turns on these protein messengers in our body, and it balances out the genes, you guys. So many people nowadays you're starting to hear, you don't have to worry about your genes that your mom and your dad and your grandma and your grandpa gave you. You actually have control of them through nutrition, through nutrigenomics. I wish that I had more time to share that with you, but learn more about that because we actually balance out genes in the body. The company is literally at the forefront of nutrigenomics and everything that we're doing, and they created another product with another pathway called NRF1, NRF1. And it has to do with the mitochondria in our cells. Our NRF1 product actually creates and strengthens the mitochondria, or the powerhouse in your cell. Look at the side of the screen, you guys, that says mitochondrial dysfunction. It's very similar to what I had mentioned with the NRF2 and how we want, or I'm sorry, the oxidative stress and everything that we wanted to balance out with that. Parkinson's, autism, mitochondrial disease, muscular dystrophy, Lou Gehrig's, fibromyalgia, diabetes, Alzheimer's, cerebral palsy, it's all there. You want to strengthen the mitochondria, the energy, the sources of your body for sure. And here it is. Again, it slows cellular aging by supporting the chromosome integrity, enhance cellular health. This is important. Cellular repair, you guys. All right, go ahead. I want to speed things up and get you going here. The company also came out with a product called ProBio, or Physique. And the reason that this is here is because our guts are, they say your gut really has control of your immune system, you guys. And we actually have something in our probiotic called Wellmune that is incredible for immune support. It also has a system called the BioTrack. And what this does is when you take it, it has this fabulous technology where it actually gets into 60 to 70% of your gut. That bacteria gets in there. So when you learn a lot about probiotics, you'll hear about how it needs to get into the gut. Well, less than 10% with other companies, and nothing against them at all, but it's just the facts that about 10% or less gets into the gut with theirs. Because we have this BioTrack technology, 60 to 70%, you guys, of what needs to get in there gets in there. And I'm telling you, I have had the greatest results on this probiotic. That is another one I have not missed. So here is something called the Activated Essentials Pack. And this is something, this core pack right here, if you guys do anything at all tonight, make sure that you get back to the person that invited you and get on this. You need every single one of these. They all play an important role, and you get free shipping. Who doesn't love free shipping? But this is something my kids take, our kids take. They're 10 and 13. They have been taking Protandim for 6.5 years. And as these products have come out, they take them as well. Every single morning before school, they take them. True Science Anti-Aging Cream. Unbelievable. This system, it's NRF2 again. Remember the balancing it out, lowering inflammation in your body. Look at this woman on day 1 and day 61. Louisiana State University came back to the company and said, you need to create a topical. Our study that we did, Louisiana State said, it's unbelievable. And the study was done on skin cancer specific to melanoma. You need to create a topical. They created a topical. And here it is, NRF2 for the skin. I bathe in it. I love it. Again, my kids use it. Shawn uses it. And you want it. Axio. What do we say about Axio? Here it is. I had one right before our call. This is Nerf 2 in the brain. Who doesn't want more clarity in the brain, more focus in the brain, have a better mood, have that brain fog lifted, you guys? It's called an energy drink, but what I'll tell you is do not think of Monster and Red Bull. This is literally brain food, turning on the neurotransmitters in your brain and getting them firing and doing all of the right things that need to happen within your brain. We go through a lot a day at our house, and our girls drink it again every single morning. They have it at breakfast, and then they'll have, generally when they come home from school, they'll have another one, but they go to school with this. You can see the different ingredients that are down there. Again, it's brain food, turning on the brain. Thank you. All right, so here's our full physique system. I mentioned the probiotic that's there, but the company came out with a weight management system, you guys. It's absolutely unbelievable. Again, I don't have a ton of time to talk to you about it tonight, but it has the cleanse, a 7-day cleanse, phenomenal probiotic, fat burn. It eats away at the visceral fat, and a protein shake, which I've never liked the taste of any protein shakes, and I'll tell you, this one is delicious. It's a weight management system. You can go ahead. It's not this, I'm gonna just lose a ton of weight and gain it back. Our company is all about science, you guys. It is truly doing what is best for you. It's not going out and just having this quick challenge and being done. Here are some people that did a 90-day challenge, I guess the word is there, but it's something that the company did when this product first came out, and you can see the different results that are there, and it's so cool. If you go the next picture ahead, you can see this beautiful couple that continued that. This is something that isn't a quick thing, a quick fix. You continue it. You continue taking your probiotic every month. You continue cleansing every month. You have that fat burn and have your protein. So look at this great couple in 6 months. Unbelievable. My favorite, if you can go back, look at these mice. This is truly my favorite picture regarding this. It's mice with and without the probiotic. So, and then the last one here is called Pet Tandem. It's Pro Tandem for your animals. It actually came out because people started giving Pro Tandem to their dogs. And here in South Dakota, we have a lot of hunting dogs. So what happens is people were giving their dogs Pro Tandem. Well, here, those hunting dogs have a hard time jumping up into the truck, so they'll have, different hip problems. Well, the cool thing is that these dogs started having more energy jumping up into the trucks, and so the company said, we need to do a double-blind placebo-controlled study on dogs, and they did that, and before the study was done, they knew which dogs were on Pet Tandem and which ones weren't. So this is definitely a must for your sweet doggies. All right.
All right. So let's talk about how you get the product now. To me, it's an absolute no-brainer. When you start to understand the benefits of this technology and integrating it into your health strategy, it's not a matter of if you're going to take the products. It's which ones and how you're going to get them. And I think it's an absolute no-brainer. The baseline for improving your health is that Essentials, the Activated Essentials pack with NRF1, NRF2, and the probiotic. And the thing about all of this, you guys, is we're at a place in time, a shift in how business is done, and I think we're really prepared and positioned to take advantage of this shift that's going on. And I know the business side isn't for everybody. Over 80% of our business is customer based, and I love that for the simple fact that if you don't see the value in the business like we see it, you don't have to. Again, I think it's a no-brainer. You're going to be a customer, but I want you to at least have enough information about the business side that you can make that decision for yourself. Because when we got this information 6.5 years ago, even though we were kind of skeptical about what we were seeing, we were open-minded enough to see where it fit in with our life. And I can tell you this, when we started getting the product into people's bodies, they had positive benefits. And when people have positive benefits with the consumable product, what do? They continue to consume it. And that led to a really, really strong base, a strong residual-based income that we had never seen before. I was in corporate America. I traded time for money, right? I show up for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I get a check. I keep showing up. 2 weeks later, I get another check. Well, I stopped showing up in January of 2012. Guess what they stopped doing? right? They stopped sending the checks. Michelle, she was always commission based. And the thing that I love about commission, the better you are and the harder you work, typically the more that you get paid. The problem with it is that every single month it started over at zero, and you had to recreate that work and that effort every single month to continue to get paid. And as we know, with everything that's going on in the world today, there's certain things that happen. Life happens, and there's certain times that maybe this hurricane that we just saw go through Texas a while ago, and now through Florida, that disrupts the way people are living their lives. It also impacts the way that they work and the way that they're typically receiving money. If you get nothing else out of the business side on this tonight, find a way to get residual income in your life, even if this is not the vehicle for you, because the power of residual income is you do the work once and you get paid over and over and over again for doing it. And I love that aspect of this business model. And every business, I've got up on the screen right now this S curve. And every business, if it lasts long enough, I don't care what product, service, or industry it is, it eventually goes through this S curve. And at the very beginning, you're looking for those innovators, the early adopters, the people that want to get there first, the entrepreneurs, right? The risk takers. The average person doesn't know about it. And that's exactly where we are with this company and these technologies. I've been all over the world doing this, you guys, from the Philippines, Australia, Canada, Mexico, all over the United States. And there's never been one market that I set foot in that you could ask 100 random people out on the street if they know about Nerf 2 or Nerf 1 or LifeVantage, a Protanum, things like that, that they'd be like, oh yeah, I know all about that. The average person knows absolutely, all about oxidative stress. The reality is we're positioned ahead of that curve. And in my thought, if you can find that aspect in the business world and position yourself ahead of the curve, it sets you up for huge financial gain. And then down the road, the momentum that occurs when the average person starts to know about it, that's when things blow up. But you have to be involved prior to take advantage of that growth explosion. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't make money when a company hits that stabilization phase. It just means to me that you better be really good at what you're doing to make money. Michelle and I, when we got involved with this 6.5 years ago, we didn't know the first thing about network marketing. We didn't know the first thing about nutraceuticals, but what we did know was there was a proven system in place that if we followed, we could get the same results as other people. And that's really what we were looking for. Back when we joined 6.5 years ago, they didn't have these income disclosure statements, and this is what I want to show you. And it looks different for what people are wanting out of this on the financial aspect of it. Look at that left-hand column, especially the ranks that go from Pro 1 down to that Master Pro 10. Okay, those are the different ranks, the varying ranks in the company. And I want to highlight that third column, the monthly average, because that's what the average distributor, each one of those ranks, is making. So look at Pro 1. The average Pro 1 is making $79 a month. Okay, the average Pro 2, $261. The average Pro 3, $580. To me, you guys, this is part-time income. Okay, this is part-time income that people are working part-time and receiving this and building up a residual asset in their life. And I know from my experience in the corporate world, the last 3 years I managed the defaulted student loan portfolio, and 80% of all bankruptcies would be avoided with an extra couple $100s a month. That's huge. And I promise you this, if it's not you that has financial worries or stressors in your life, your friends and your family, some of them will go to bed tonight wondering how they're going to make it through this month, how the rent that they were supposed to pay on the 1st is going to get paid, how their mortgage is going to get paid, car payments, things like that. So don't think that this opportunity isn't enticing to some people. Now the Pro 4, Pro 5 ranks, $1,000, $2,500 a month. To me, that's supplemental income. We have a whole host of people coming up to retire, the baby boomers, right? And what they were told 30 years ago isn't the reality of the retirement world today, right? Pensions have gone away for the most part. Social Security doesn't provide enough money for them to live the same lifestyle. They haven't saved enough money to supplement Social Security to live that same lifestyle. So what are people's choices, right? They either have to continue to work or they have to find another way to get that money, because most people have not saved enough money to live the same lifestyle in retirement that they're accustomed to during their working years. So if we could roadmap out to them how to earn an extra $1,000 or $2,500 a month, do you not think that there's a whole host of people interested in that? And then look at Pro 6, Pro 7, almost $6,000 a month, over $11,000 a month. You know, when we get into those ranks, I would contend that over 90% of American households would replace their entire full-time working money somewhere in those ranks, right? And then look at Pro 8, Pro 9, Pro 10, over $20,000, $40,000, almost $100,000 a month. And I'm not saying that because money's the only thing here. I'm wanting you to think bigger, to think and dream big, because the potential with your hands on something like this and being positioned where we are is exponential. It's crazy. And I wouldn't have believed it. If I would have saw those numbers when we first started, I wouldn't have believed that somebody could make $100,000 a month doing this. I joked with Michelle about, you know, us doing network marketing, and that, you know, if we were successful network marketers, we'd get a commission check for $20 and celebrate with a Redbox movie and a bottle of wine. But the reality is, when this business is done right with the right people and the right products, it's an extraordinary business model that really does work, as long as you have a proven system that's in place for you to have success. And we absolutely have those components with this company. And 12 months into this business, we hit the rank of Elite Pro 7. 12 months after that, we hit the rank of Elite Pro 8. And 12 months after that, we had 2 Pro 8 positions in the company. So I'm telling you, and again, not to brag about anything that we've done, I'm telling you this because if we could have done this in that amount of time, anybody can do it, because we didn't have experience, we didn't have backgrounds or, you know, knowledge or expertise in any of the information. What we had was a burning desire to change our life. I wanted out of the corporate world, but we had to find a way to replace that money. We were coachable. We followed the system that was there for us to follow and do what other people had already shown to work. And the last part was we had a good work ethic. I don't care what it is in life. If you want extraordinary things, it takes effort, and it's going to take some willingness and sacrifice on your part to get where you want to get. But the reality is, when you push the boulder up the hill far enough in a business model like this, it can start to go down the other side without you. Now, getting the products, again, you know, after that ABC primetime video aired, they tried channels like the retail shelves and GNC and CVS and Rite Aids. The product actually sold less than a bottle per store per month. It was making the company go bankrupt. So around 2009, 2010, they tried putting it in network marketing, person-to-person distribution, and outsold the retail channels by over 300% in 6 months. So they pulled it off the shelves, and the only way to get it now is as a distributor or as a customer of a distributor. The cool thing about being a customer in our company is you pay the exact same price for products as distributors do. So there's not an incentive just to do the business with not having an intended purpose. If you only see value in the products as being a consumer, just take the products as being a consumer. But if you're Rolodexing other people in your head, or you're thinking, you know, oh my gosh, what if only half of what they're saying is true, or this technology really is revolutionary and I knew about it first. I'll tell you, in South Dakota, we don't hear about a lot of things first, right? It usually in the United States goes east and west coast in, and we hear about it 18 years later. But the reality is this is new, and it is revolutionary. Now, on the business side of things, you guys, there's 3 different ways you can get involved, and you see them on the screen right now. The silver pack, the gold pack, the platinum pack. I want to talk a second about the platinum pack, because it's absolutely, if I signed up again tomorrow, it's the way that I would do it, because it comes with the most value. Michelle and I, when we first signed up for this company, you guys, we did not intend to do it as a business. But what we knew was, even if we didn't get off the starting line, we had just prepaid for product that had paid for itself, right? We got that much value in what we did on the business side, and that's how we got involved. But again, we started sharing just the story with some people that were close to us, that we cared about their health, and creating an opportunity for them to better themselves. And the more people we got it into, the more people that had positive benefits, and the more people that had anecdotal evidence that the science was real, that it did what it said that it was going to do. And again, we have science that shows that this works 100% of the time. Now, with this business pack, you're going to get almost $1,800 worth of value. But truthfully, the best thing that you're going to get is a duplicatable system that works for anybody. Again, the 3 things that I think that it takes to have success in this business is a burning desire for change in your life, being coachable, and having a good work ethic. Outside of that, you're going to learn on the job how to do this business. And we have a direct incentive to do it with you. There's 6 different ways that we get paid, but I'm telling you, the aspects of our compensation plan, we have a financial incentive to help others other people. Our success is directly tied to helping you be successful. You do not do this business alone unless you choose to do this business alone. And that's very, very different. When I was in the corporate world, you guys, I was paid more money. I was incentivized to separate myself from my peers, right? Because then I was more likely to get the next raise or promotion. I had no incentive to tell people why I was good at what I did. With this, my success is tied to your success across the board, across the entire company, and I love that. And it's created and fostered an amazing, amazing component with us and with just our system and how we go about things. And I really want you to know that, you know, at this point, you're going to fall into one of three categories, right? This might not be for you, okay? And it's absolutely okay. All we're here to do is share information with you, and what you choose to do with it is completely up to you. But what I would ask you is this, is tell the person that invited you where you stand, okay? If it's not for you, let them know that. But what I would ask is if new products come out or new information, new science, something like that, maybe every 4 or 5 months, they can just give you an update on what's going on. Or if something changes in your life that you become interested, just get back with the person that first introduced this to you. Now, you might have some questions. If you have questions, let us know what those questions are, because we can help direct you to the proper source to answer your questions, right? I'll contend all day long that using Google as your research tool is probably not as good as the American Heart Association's journal circulation, right? A blogger's not as good as that nonprofit organization. Nobody's going to contend that it's any different. So we can help direct you to get your questions answered, whether it's on the products, the business, or the science, anything like that. Let us know what those questions are so we can help get those questions answered. And the third is people that they're excited about what they've heard. They're ready to get started either as a customer or a distributor. Now that we're heading out of summer, people are getting back into that kind of school routine. Kids are in school and we're not out vacationing across the country and across the world, and we're back into that routine. I'm telling you, this is an amazing time to start this business if you're thinking about starting it, because we're heading into the fall, and then before we know it, we're going to be coming up into the new year. And what's everybody looking for in the new year? Right? Better health, better finances, and we offer that to people. So if you're thinking about doing the business, don't delay. Get your questions answered that you need answered and jump in, because there isn't a better time to get started than the present. So let us know how we can help. We're absolutely here to help you in any aspect that we can. We look forward to locking arms with some of you and really changing the world, changing the way that people treat their health strategy, and what's coming up on the horizon with this is absolutely mind-blowing. We're not even close to getting started here on what we're going to accomplish going forward into the future. So, Michelle, you want to close it out?
Yep, very, very. It's when you can say that you're more excited today than what we were 6.5 years ago, I think as a business and just in general, that is a powerful and very exciting thing. And to have something, like you said, Shawn, in your life that can bring you residual income. We did not understand it, and I give thanks for it every single day. I think of, today as a day from September 11th to the different, storms and whatnot that were going across the country and in Puerto Rico and Texas and Florida. And people have to step away from their work. They need to go work on their home. Some people's businesses, you guys, were demolished and they can't work. And so how are these people going to get paid? How are they going to pay their bills? What are they going to do? Residual income is the ticket. You want to dig the well before you're thirsty. And that is something, please, like he said, even if this isn't for you, find a way to get that residual income, because it will help you sleep at night. So thank you guys so much. Get back to the person, like Shawn said, that invited you. We have something called LifeVantage Academy happening all over the country this Saturday. So if you're interested in the business, you will learn exactly how to do this business this coming Saturday. And then we have something called Elite Academy that's happening here in a couple of months out in Florida. And that is that's definitely something that you need to be a part of. So thank you again. Have a great rest of your evening. Sleep well. And thanks for joining us.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Take care.